This is the review for Aapl for 5/16, May 16th. First up here, we had a gap up open, failed to move any higher, failed to hold support, and pushed down straight below it. I did not take a gap and go entry. It's a good thing I did not. I would have been trapped into a bad trade. Did wait for a little bit of a pullback, gave a pipe bottom type of setup here, took the green over green break, assuming there was going to be strength to continue higher. There was not. It failed, and just goes to show you that even the strongest of candlestick patterns can fail from time to time. So with that said, took my small loss here, got out and moved on to the next setup. Next setup was to look for support at this level, which failed, and anytime it breaks down below support I'm watching, I'm immediately thinking false breakdown, which it did provide an entry for here. Took some 155 weekly calls. It was close enough to the strike price for me to go ahead and get in at a decent price and assume that price is going to continue higher. It did not there, and stopped me out for a small loss on this trade here. Next up on this same candle, just above, I got in again at the 155 calls and trailed out a little while later. So not much of a trend here set up in Aapl. Overall, the price action is still bullish and will likely continue higher, although after hours it is moving down quite a bit right now. This here's the live chart for Aapl. Got a couple notes on here already. This is a higher time frame chart that I'll be watching for tomorrow. Because of where price action is, I'll go ahead and pull up the after hours chart right now. We are currently at 154.70, which is still above the 8-period exponential, so it's not the end of the world. And the gap is actually 154.65-ish, so it looks like we are still holding at about this gap level, and as long as that holds, it'll still stay bullish, and I can trade it based on that. Now, with that in mind, if it does open up there, I have no problem here going ahead and taking a support entry on the open with a stop just below. And now how I would do that is with in this range here, probably the 155 weekly calls again, and I'll just calculate what the effect of the delta and the theta would have on that call option right here, and my stop loss will be just below there. Once it comes down into this gap, I assume that it's going to at least test this 8-period exponential moving average over here, which is 153.5. Tomorrow it should be a little bit higher, probably up to around 153.75, somewhere around in this region here. If that does fail, my next level that I'm watching as support is 152.25, which is about the low of the previous break. Now, anything below there could be considered as putting in a new first lower low, but then we would need to see a lower high before we actually turn bearish on this chart. Overall, Aapl's still very, very bullish. As you can see, this is the longer term 30-minute candlestick chart. Each one of these candles is 30 minutes. So we've got moves up, consolidation, moves up, consolidation, moved up, consolidation, a move up, and a consolidation. If it falls back below here, that just means it wasn't necessarily ready to go yet. It doesn't mean it's bearish. It doesn't mean it's time to go ahead and short any kind of pops. It just means it's time for a pullback. Now, with all that said, we have all these moving averages here in a very bullish setup, extended away from each other, and no reason at all, in my opinion, to be short on the Aapl at the moment. A couple things worth pointing out here on the intraday time frame is we do now have a range from 156.65, which is still going to be the top, and 154.70. So in between there, you can expect a little bit of chop back and forth. No large dark pool prints or anything, at least not yet anyways. Another setup that I could be looking for, if it actually holds support here after hours and moves up, I might even look for a breakout above here. I'll call it 155.51 versus this previous swing low. Now, today's price action was very choppy. There was a lot of indecision trying to determine which way it was going to go. And like I said in my last video, the previous time that we had a similar setup here was this day, and we got pretty much a 4-day pullback and a base before we started to really go up. So could be trying to come back and test these moving averages here, and those are going to be the most ideal place to come in. So if at all possible, I will wait for it to come back down to one of these levels. That way I can take a larger position with a tighter stop. That's my trade plan going forward tomorrow. We'll see what can happen, and good luck.